This morning, the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI report, came out, and the numbers that were revealed on this report are quite shocking for consumers and inflation rates in the United States. And if you're wondering what the number is, it is a 9.1% inflation rate, which is the highest that the US has seen in 40 years. And whether you live in the United States like me or not, I don't live in the United States. This does affect the entire globe because a lot of the economy and stock markets and especially cryptocurrency markets are going to be affected by this, especially in the long term. Now, going over some other numbers before we answer the question that the video is titled, can cryptocurrency fix this? Can it help this? Can it ease this in any way? I want to cover the fact that it's not just general inflation. Things like fuel, oil, and gasoline are up, 50 to 98%. And gas utilities in general are just up an absurd amount of inflated prices due to the amount of demand not being met in that supply factor, which we'll go over in a sec, comparing different types of inflations and how cryptocurrency can help ease some of these, but maybe not all of them. Sorry, definitely not all of them. As you can see here, even used cars are up 7.1%. Overall CPI, the overall inflation is 9.1%, which is very hard to beat in any investments traditionally. You're looking at 10% returns in an index fund on a good day. You can hardly outpace inflation even if you want to, even if you're investing in the stock market. So a lot of people, in my opinion, are probably going to turn to some crazier ways of beating inflation, and also with that inherently riskier terms of investments like cryptocurrencies. In the short term, however, cryptocurrency prices aren't really affected by this too much. A lot of people were expecting a massive pump after this. Not sure why, but in the long term, the question is, can cryptocurrency help ease this and make society, have a bit more confidence in their monetary policies that they're using or their forms of currency, rather than just not being able to beat it or outpace the inflation that their currency is backed on? Just thinking about the fact that if you leave your money in a savings account with pretty much no interest, because most savings accounts have pretty much 0% interest, you are losing 9% right now a year. And that is pretty bad. That is, very, very, very bad. If you leave it for 5 years, you are down a catastrophic amount of purchasing power, and all because you're just trying to save up some money. So now, can cryptocurrencies help this? Can it ease this? Can it save us all from inflation? The answer, to put it shortly, is inflation is going to happen no matter what the monetary policy is, no matter what currency we are using. But in terms of it being increased or rapidly developed further and driving the economy and society a little bit insane, crypto can help this. There's different types of inflation. I'm scrolling past a lot here, but the one I'm thinking about and talking about today is fiscal policies, and basically the amount of money that is being loaned out or created by the Fed or by whoever is making a currency or developing more of a currency. This can be put to an ease, because if we have cryptocurrencies, we have set burn rates that are automated, they aren't controlled by anyone, and we have set things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't have to worry about because they're also public, like how much of a currency is put into circulation and how decentralized something is, meaning who can actually make decisions and are you going to be able to influence those decisions. In cryptocurrency and blockchains in general, things are very public. Not everything is public. There are parts that are private and ways to privatize things, which certain blockchains actually excel at. But in many cases, having a currency backed on a public ledger and being able to take things in a decentralized front avoids the ability for one or two people or a group of people, a group of small individuals, to go ahead, take the reins and say, hey, we're going to print a bunch of money. We're going to throw it into the economy and just see what happens. That won't happen, or likely is the purpose of cryptocurrencies, so it will not happen, and things can be done in a more thoughtful and deliberate way. And also, we can have set rates or set circulation supplies, so it's not just an infinite amount of money that can run through the ecosystem of a currency, but there actually is a set limit, a cap. Or in some other cryptocurrencies, they have designed a mechanism to have an unlimited supply, but also a way of burning supply. So there is a deflationary aspect to it. There's lots of different things in cryptocurrency that basically are surrounded or evolved to not have this built into their policies, or make sure that this type of inflation doesn't come about in their currency. Of course, though, other types of inflation are likely still to happen. There's always going to be certain supplies that don't meet certain demands, or supplies and demands may change and the tides may turn, especially on things like gas and oil. But in general, cryptocurrency can solve some of the inflation issues we are seeing today, and I really do believe that. If you don't, or if you have other opinions, leave them down in the comments. I'd like to know. But in general, I do think that cryptocurrencies, whatever crypto it may be, yes, I am more on the Cardano ship, but also a lot of these other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum can take an approach to and have taken an approach to what they're building upon to make a currency that is deflationary, or at least at the very least not inflationary. And if it is inflationary, it's going to be a steady rate and a predictable rate. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to briefly go over the inflation crisis that everyone is talking about today, the CPI number of 9.1% inflation, and make you aware of it. I'll see you guys next video. It's been your friend Jack from my mom's basement. Peace out.